Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. So before we get going on this video, we are going to take a quick shot at Bambi, that being the Milwaukee Bucks. Basically, what I need you to do is go in the comment section below and give me your most realistic Giannis Antetokounmpo trade. I'm not saying he's going to be traded, but the title of today's video by my guy AM Hoops is the biggest NBA rumor in years, and the thumbnail has Giannis on it with the Knicks logo behind him, man. So yeah, it's just for fun. Even if you're a Bucks fan, let me know if Giannis were to get traded, what would that look like? I'm just curious. Let's get it.
Bucks fans will say Brian Windhorst's new theory is fake news, but this is the man who once said the Jazz were gonna trade Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert before it happened. He saw something weird about the moves they were making.
Why would the Jazz do that?
And he was right.
Because they were
but
horrible.
Now, he sees something weird in Milwaukee.
Couldn't win a
that could lead
championship.
to Giannis leaving. I want to lay out his theory, but there is one key thing Windhorst actually gets wrong. So, Windy says that the old Bucks owner, Mark Lasry, selling the franchise is weird. I mean, why would you sell when the team is great, you have an MVP, you own the arena? I mean, yes, he did make $2 billion on the sale, but he could have done
Decent
that
reason.
anytime.
Decent
Why
reason.
now? Because very soon, the team could be a disaster. Giannis could choose to leave because he can't win there. So the first thing they did...
I guess technically, yeah, it wouldn't be a trade because he's got like 2 years left on his contract. Even so, though, man, if you knew Giannis was going to leave... If you just knew it or he requested a trade, what would that trade look like? All right.
What's happy is fire Coach Mike Budenholzer. Coach Bud, again, made horrible decisions in the playoffs.
They weren't
he
Buds
is known
after.
for being bad at adjustments. Giannis was pissed when they asked him about that after losing to Miami.
Do you think you made enough adjustments over Jimmy over the stretch of this series?
We didn't.
Giannis got way too salty in this.
We didn't.
You know Giannis was asked about firing Coach
man.
Bud, so they did it to make him happy. But now, do they re-sign his teammates, Brook Lopez and Chris Middleton?
No.
It is getting really expensive to bring everyone back. But if
Expensive, Middleton, injury history already, you know, gonna be, what is he, like 30, 31? Now he's like 31, I think. Yo, he's the same age as me, man. And his name starts with the K. Wow, we have a lot in common. Similar to the Pistons. We tried that. We drafted you. We traded you. Never mind.
they don't, the roster is weak. So the old owner saw all this and decided, I'm gonna sell now, because Giannis could leave. Then this thing ain't worth $3
I would just
billion.
retool around him.
Well, why not?
Might do
just
that rebuild
re-sign
soon
all of
for a
his
video.
teammates? Because the new CBA is making it impossible to keep great teams together. But Vart, today's sponsor is Prize Picks. It's actually
Prize
been a
Picks.
lot
Let's get this man's code on the screen. AM Hoops 1K entry. Okay. Oh, was that it? Always gotta show the code, man.
If it's your 100%
There it is.
deposit
100%. Okay, AM Hoops is the code.
match,
Perfect.
the details are insane. We may never see another dynasty again. When you actually see these details, I'm surprised more fans aren't angry about this.
What's going
the
on?
most expensive
Haven't heard about
teams like
it.
the Warriors or the Bucks no longer have the mid-level exception to sign players, which is key to making a good team better. It's how the Dubs got Dante DiVincenzo, the Bucks got Joe Ingles, but they also can't sign buyout players. The buyout market is huge every year.
What?
It's how the Clippers got Russ. Well, you can't get buyout guys? But making trades will be impossible. Trades. Instead of matching salaries 125% like normal, they can only match 110%, which is tough. Like the Nets.
This is so bad for the NBA. Everything I've heard so far is so bad for the NBA. Because literally, what do we get excited about as fans? Yeah, the basketball part is great. We all enjoy that as a Pistons fans. You know, some decades have been better than others. But, you know, overall, like, trades, buyout market, free agent signings, all that stuff. It's part of the 365 excitement, man, of the Detroit Pistons. The NBA, definitely not the Detroit Pistons, man. Y'all take our plays. We still pay that man Blake Griffin $60 million.
Couldn't have gotten James Harden 2 years ago. Oh, forget though trying to get a good player. The most expensive teams can't put together multiple salaries to get one big player. Like, you know, all those trades we always cook up like for fun. Like if I did, you know, Kyle Lowry plus Tyler Hero and picks for Damian Lillard. Nope. The most expensive teams can't do a bunch of players for one player. What?
Why?
But it gets worse. The most expensive teams are restricted on how many picks they can trade. Normally, you can trade 4 first-round picks as long as
what's
they're not
considered
in consecutive
expensive?
years.
Like
well,
top
these
5?
teams now can only trade 3. But also, the most expensive teams will always get the last pick in the draft, no matter what their record is. So a couple of years ago, the Warriors had Steph and Clay injured, right? So they were horrible, but they got the number 2 pick for James Wiseman. Not anymore. Now the Warriors would be sent to the back of the draft, no matter what. So the new owner was like, yo, it is going to be impossible to win with Giannis in the future, especially a small town like Milwaukee. They don't get free agents, and now they can't build with the draft or with trades or with buyout guys.
So intrigued by this.
The new CBA screws them, so he sells the team now. But the one thing Windhorst did get wrong is when he said this.
He has said nothing, but I love Milwaukee and I want to be in Milwaukee. There is no indication he has given that he wants to leave.
Love you, Windy. That's not true.
Windy
After
City.
the Bucks won their chip, Giannis said this. What's the next challenge? It might not be here. Me and my family chose to stay in this city that we all love and is taking care of us for now. In 2 years, that might change.
Oh my goodness.
Just being totally honest
when did he
with
say
you.
this?
That
Honest
is
Giannis.
Honest.
Honest
You know,
Giannis.
Damian Lillard loyalty. And you know what? I like that from Giannis. I hate when players say one thing to try to make everybody happy, but then they go the back.
And let's be realistic too. How often does one player stay with a franchise for their entire career? It's like it's pretty rare when that does happen. So I mean, Giannis got them a ring. Team's aging. It would take a retool. Who even knows how that's going to look, especially after all this stuff's going on here. Can't say I blame the guy.
Door and do another thing. He is telling us, I might leave one day, and we will know more in just 4 months. That is when Giannis is eligible for an extension. If he doesn't sign that in September, it is panic time in Milwaukee. Now, if he does, this all goes away.
I don't see why he would sign it.
What happens if he refuses to sign? Well, the Bucks
You want to see the
could
direction of the
just
team?
trade Giannis immediately with 2 years left on his deal and probably get back the biggest haul in a trade ever. But I do not expect that to happen because no matter what Milwaukee gets back, they lose that trade. The last player they had like Giannis was Kareem 40 years ago, so they need to keep it.
That is true. I think the word lose here is pretty subjective though, because if it is based off of, you know, all this stuff about being like the most expensive team and everything, and you be in a small market, then, you know, getting a ton of draft picks and things along those lines, and then lucking out and, you know, a few of those guys panning out and everything, none of them will probably be as good as Giannis, but from a rebuild standpoint, it might be their best option, I guess. I don't know, it's weird to say because I don't think that should get approved.
They would run it back and try to win with him. But if that fails, the clock is ticking. They could then trade him with 1 year left, like when the Raptors got Kawhi, or they could wait to the trade deadline. Every team would be interested, but the number one rumor right now is the Knicks.
Wow.
Why? Because they're a big market, obviously, and they have the most exciting path to a super
Give him
team.
Julius.
In the summer of 2025, New York can have about $60 million in cap space. That allows them to trade players and picks for Giannis and have money left over for another star. But look at these other stars. Here's free agents in 2025. They could add Jason Tatum or Brandon Ingram, Donovan Mitchell, OG Anunoby.
Any chance Donovan Mitchell, you know, man? I mean, I know he got traded to the Cavs. We all kind of know he want to be in New York, though. Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, and Giannis.
Jamal Murray, older vets like Anthony Davis, Jimmy Butler, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard. I could even see
Jimmy
a
Butler's
world
a free agent?
where
I
New
thought he
York
just signed a
signs a young star
large
like
extension.
Jason Tatum and gets an older vet on a cheap deal who's like really wants to win a ring like a Jimmy Butler. But every team's interested, right? I think there are 2 teams that would be front runners that Giannis would look at.
Detroit.
And really, the only factor is winning. I don't think playing in a big city is really Giannis's personality. His priority is playing with talent. So we have to look at who has a young star now that will be in his prime later. And I know this sounds crazy, but the Oklahoma City Thunder, they are stacking young talent and will be in a position to trade for Giannis. OKC and the Jazz Jazz have the most picks to deal, but Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is officially a star. He will make first-team All-NBA and is a point guard, which fits well next to Giannis. Also, if Chet Holmgren is great, he can play next to a center. Giannis.
Yeah, Giannis and Chet, Shai, J-Dub. Jay Will off the bench, you know, a little backup. Dort. Oh, they still got Giddey too.
But the other team, you know it, is the Dallas Mavericks.
I almost thought he said Detroit.
And Luka would be an amazing big two, especially on offense. It would pair, potentially, the best two players in the NBA on the same team. Obviously, Luka has issues on defense. Giannis can cover up a lot of that.
Keep Kyrie too.
They are both killers in the postseason. But we don't have to wait 2 years for the next super team. The Houston Rockets are the most interesting franchise this offseason.
All right, looks like that's the video he did the other day. Y'all go check that one out too, man. That's all we got for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Peace out, my friends.